So I think we're done. I think we're good.
Hey, and we have
great.
time for an after show this week.
That's exciting.
Victory is ours.
I hope you all enjoyed the jokes because they were actually jokes, as opposed to this. That must be stuff that Beej really believes. I can't wait for the YouTube comments to be full of that shit.
Well, as opposed to my G2A story, which was just, sort of reporting what actually happened with zero commentary.
I was realizing that in retrospect, there at no point in the Slay the Spire story do you actually acknowledge that you are incorrect.
Nope.
Yes. Yes, I was.
There's so much.
There's not enough episodes in Crystal.
I know.
Compared to
they follow the manga.
One you're gonna have to watch from me watching Crystal. So.
Oh, okay. Can we start with the dinosaur filler episode?
I don't want to be caught in this lovers' quarrel anymore.
That's mid-season 2. You can't start mid-season 2. We'll start with stars.
All right, that sounds good. We're I used to run a Sailor Moon website, so it's like I think I come by my fandom honestly.
Oh yeah, no, I don't.
In fact, if we want to be fair, I used to run one of the most popular Sailor Moon websites on the internet.
I actually deployed that as a story to describe what kind of person you are when I was at Adam and Lindsay's wedding. Because I was talking to some of my friends from the Dumbrella website.
Nice.
And I was like, no, Beej is, like, you cannot understand the depths of how OG weeb he is. And like, I was using it as a story to impress.
Yeah.
They were impressed.
Yeah. That's fair.
Like, wow.
Like when I was doing that, as like I knew of Dumbrella as a thing, and I was like, I don't know what it is exactly, but I knew it was a place. I thought it was like
the internet weird kids hung out.
I thought it was a collective of people who made web comics.
It is.
Okay.
And we were their fans on a message board back in the day.
Nice. Because that included John Allison, right?
Yes.
Yeah, back when he was doing Roomies.
Scary Go Round. Bobbins?
Bobbins is what it was called, yes.
And then it turned into Scary Go Round, which sort of ended, and I'm sad. Apparently, and I had forgotten about this, I was eventually a mod on the Scary Go Round.
Oh, rad! Yeah, I conflated those two because Roomies and Bobbins are very short with multiple letters repeated in them. Yes. I know Dave Willis did Roomies, and I was like, John Allison did a thing, and it was about a bunch of people hanging out in England because that's where he's from and that's what he knows.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Was Octopus Pie also on that too?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Diesel Sweeties.
Oh, and Jesus. Yeah, R. Stevens.
What is Boy and Robot with the red
Yeah.
And
who else was part of Dumbrella back then?
Wigoo.
Oh, what, Jeffrey Rowland's Wigoo?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I had no idea.
Before Topatoco was basically the webcomic merch fulfillment. That was his webcomic merch fulfillment.
Yeah.
And I believe he probably makes a lot more money running that.
Is it pronounced Topatoco?
Topatoco? Topatoco?
Because I thought it was like potato, topato. Like I thought that was the whole thing.
Oh, maybe it's Topatoco.
But I didn't know because I'm like, does Jeffrey? Right, I should move over.
I've never met Jeff Rowland, and I didn't read Wigoo.
He's from like Tennessee or Oklahoma. He's from Oklahoma, I think. And I'm like, well, it makes him like technically Southern. Does he pronounce it like with the long A or the short A? I don't know. So Anyway.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Paul. Paul did get a haircut.
We're talking about webcomics, apparently.
Well, Beej and I spent a long time talking about stretch fabrics before the show started.
It was driving Paul up the goddamn wall.
Look, we have a lot of opinions.
We do.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, how's it going? Now let's talk about some shows or some of the stories that we talked about. Is there any more info about any of the stories that?
Well, you posted a thing about a further update to how the Steam Summer Sale went for people, and for indies, it went terribly.
Yeah, man. So yeah,
they lost so much money.
This is sort of, we didn't want to like hit it again.
Yeah,
because it's mostly just the same info. But yeah, the final, like, now that the Steam Summer Sale is over, the final results from how it actually like did was not good. Apparently, like most of the indie developers say that like the amount that they like the sales from the Steam sale was like half, if not worse,
Yeah.
than it was in
Oof.
previous years.
That's bad.
There was one
And-
dev.
And they were saying that like the vast majority of his traffic was coming from external sort. Like Steam wasn't even like
Yeah.
recommending his stuff like the way it used to.
The one dev had said last year they made $100,000 on a single title through Steam Summer Sale, and then they said this year we made $65,000 on 2, and I'm like, well, if you were to split that exactly in half, that's still a ridiculous amount that you didn't make, but okay, whatever. But then somebody else had said, last year I made $2,000 on sales. This year I didn't make 200.
And like those small devs are the ones that get sort of disproportionately hit, where like they might put out a game, it might get a trickle of sales throughout the year, but like the Steam Summer Sale.
I mean, it's like it's one of those like Black Friday things, right?
Yeah.
Where like that's where you're expecting to get a big chunk.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Even if you end up only selling at half the price of your game, it's like you might sell 10 times as many that you would normally sell, because people are like, I don't want to spend $15 on that, but I will spend $8. And they'll be like, well, then everybody buys it. And you're like, I made money.
Yeah, finally.
I can pay rent.
Yeah.
I can eat the good ramen.
like we were talking about when we were talking about this last week. It's like, okay, like I get all the there's various complaints about Epic Store for varying amounts, for good reasons and some not so good reasons, but there are perfectly legitimate reasons to be upset about how Epic is doing their thing.
Yeah.
Somehow I do find that just going to like the Epic Store and it's just a place where they're selling video games. There isn't like so much extra, like Steam. I always look at like the Steam client has about 5 or 6 tabs at the top that I have never been in. You say I'm peaking badly? Oh no. But like there's just like, the streaming section, like Steam cards, all these weird things. It's just like, come on. I just kind of
here to buy a game.
Yeah, I just kind of want to buy a game.
All right, so
Sorry
that's okay.
that I'm peeking.
I'm gonna roll this. I don't know why I'm rolling this back because I can't see it on the thing anyway.
I know, thanks for all those gift subs, the Maricat.
Yeah.
Is that a little better for me not being too peaky?
I don't know why, but I just pulled up the chat on my phone. I had my phone so I could read the story document, and I was like, oh, I can't see chat. I should pull up chat on my phone.
Mm-hmm. You guys are all right there. We can see you. You're right under the.
So yeah, stories.
I'm very tired this week. I've been having some brain probs.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah, it's basically it's only available in the expansion, and I don't really know anything about Final Fantasy 14, but I'm sure people in our community will be able to fill it in. But apparently the NPCs that you take into the dungeon are like the NPCs that have basically been in sort of following you along in the game, and they have like lines that are voiced, and you get to learn a bit more about them.
And they were like previously only in cutscenes, really.
Yeah, essentially, they're sort of your. They've always sort of been your companions, but they always sort of poof away. Like you can't actually do shit with them. But now you can actually play through this. This sounds great. I don't like what. I want to play that. I don't want to play Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, I'm not a big MMO player, and so
it's
a thing where it's like it sounds cool, except it also sounds like it kind of defeats the purpose of the operation. And there are 15 other Final Fantasy games that if you just want a single player Final Fantasy game,
you could just do that.
There are lots of those. The Switch Lite is a thing for real.
Yeah.
I know it's been rumored for a long time that they're going to come out with like a light version. So I think this basically means the 3DS is done, right?
They've said it's not.
It's not.
They say a lot of things.
It's because you don't.
They say when the 3DS came out that wasn't that the DS was done.
Yeah, they can't say it's finished because anyone who's still developing games for it, which is not a lot, would be like, wait, you just basically killed the thing that you just said. We're not doing this anymore, and we still have games coming out for it. So it's like, it's just going to keep getting made until they just decided people are not making games for it anymore, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That's and as people say, the 3DS is still selling, and it's like you're gonna just see. It's just gonna. It's a long tail, and that's gonna be fine.
To say it's not replacing it is a little disingenuous, I think. But that's how they always do these things.
Yeah, and it is a great stand-in. I mean, at $200 US, it's kind of a great stand-in for where the 3DS launched at. So
yeah, and like if you just like see, this is gonna sound. Okay, Bald Rush says, I think Persona Q2 was the last 3DS game on the release calendar. What, Atlas? Squeaking in a game right at the end of life for a console?
Is that kind of their MO?
Yeah. The PlayStation, they were the last game for PlayStation 2 almost, I think, weren't they?
Yeah, and I believe that what game was it? Yeah, Persona 4 was the last great game to launch on the PlayStation 2 because it launched probably like 6 to 8 months.
Wow.
After basically everybody, like there's still
after
games.
Like the PS3 had come out.
Yeah, the PS3 was out when that game came out, and like people had been wrapping up development for a long time. But Atlas takes a long time to make their games. So they're like, no, we started on PS2, we're finishing on PS2. Doesn't matter if this is the last PS2 game any of you motherfuckers
but
play.
It's gonna be the.
I mean, a lot of people have them, so it's not that bad an idea.
Yeah,
I think it's so. I did not. My stance on rumors is like the cool story, bro. I don't give a shit about a rumor until it actually is a real thing, and then it's not a rumor anymore. Which is why I made the story the way I did.
Yeah.
So because I'm like, I don't give a crap about this, but also I didn't think they were going to do this. So I didn't think they were going to make a light version that has like permanently attached whatevers and take a lot of these other features out. Because I'm like, you're kind of eroding the a lot of the things that make the full Switch very cool. But it's not like the full Switch is going away.
Well, what I find interesting is, so they're dropping it by $100. It's $100 cheaper, which is like, that's pretty substantial.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a third of the price.
Yeah.
Or 2/3 of the price.
Yeah.
And to me anyway, it appears as if the stuff that they're clearly doing market segmentation here. Like the stuff that they removed is not worth $100.
Yeah.
So they're taking they're not necessarily doing a loss, but they're obviously not making as much profit on, like they're deliberately doing this.
Yeah.
And they removed like the HDMI port, and like they remove stuff that isn't necessarily like super expensive things, but just to make sure that they can provide a real motive for people to be like, this is why this one's better than this one.
Yeah.
Well, this is the purely handheld Switch because, like you said, it doesn't dock, it doesn't have an HDMI. So, but if they can work out the cloud saves things,
fix that now.
This is the perfect second Switch if you're considering becoming a 2-Switch household.
Yeah.
Right? Because there have been times that I've been like, maybe I should just get my own Switch instead of playing on Graham's. But I can't really justify it, and like, as a cost thing to spend $300 on a console, I'll play some of the time. But having 2 Switches, meaning that when one of us travels, we can still play the Switch, is really nice. And the other thing is, like, if you are traveling, you're probably not bringing your Switch in. You're probably not really looking to dock your Switch all that much anyhow. Only Beige is the kind of person who brings a Switch dock so he can play on the big screen in his hotel room.
I mean, Heather is actually the one who does it. So
okay.
It ain't me.
All right. So unless you're Heather.
That is actually a good point that somebody brought up. Of the various things
that you have brought your Switch dock with you when traveling, so you can play Switch games on the TV in your hotel room.
No, that was so I could stream. I wouldn't do that otherwise.
Okay, so what do you think of a Switch Lite as your everyday carry?
There's no point if you already have a Switch Pro.
Or what if you're? But what if you're?
Put on that microphone.
As your secondary Switch?
No.
You have to turn that on.
Are you on 2?
I don't know. Yeah, sure. Why not?
On 2, then I got 2 up.
Yeah, I feel like Heather, you got to weigh in here. It's a Nintendo story.
I think the Switch Lite is great for people who don't have one and don't want to have a dock. I don't think I need one.
It's. I saw somebody mention in the chat of the various things about the original, like the normal Switch, that are the like Switch parts. It switches from being portable to a console for your TV. It can switch they basically removed all the switchy parts of the Switch.
The thing I've seen on the internet is they call it the 1DS.
Wow.
I mean, it's pretty accurate. Well, no, because the 2DS is the 2D version with the 2 screens. The 3DS was 2 screens with the 3D.
Right.
So 1DS is just like, oh, it's like the 2DS, but only one screen.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it's just the 1DS.
I think it's great that they have it. I really would like to buy one because I like the colors, but I don't need one, so I shouldn't buy one.
Do I want a yellow one or a turquoise one?
I like turquoise, but yellow's real good too.
Yellow's powerful. Yellow's like, that's mine.
Yeah, I think like I've been kind of thinking about getting a Switch just because there are a lot of games for it that I'm really interested in. But the plugging into a TV is pretty much a deal breaker for me. Like it's got to be. I would definitely want to be able to plug it into a TV. So
I looked up what games don't have handheld mode because of that, and it's almost all fitness games.
I mean, that makes sense.
That the like Switch whatever game the like game that came with the Switch.
1-2 Switch.
Yeah, 1-2 Switch wouldn't
it doesn't work with.
It doesn't have the HD
doesn't work with
rumble,
Labo.
Right? Oh right, of course Labo
because it wouldn't.
It's too
Fitness
small
boxing
physically, right?
and the Just Dance games.
Well, and Labo, you have to disconnect the things to.
Yeah, and Mario Party.
I will counter though that
But Mario Party was not.
Many of the Switch games that I've played, I have never played in anything other than handheld mode.
Yeah, so it's fine.
I think it's great for like a second Switch in your household. Like if you're like, oh, I don't want to fight over the thing.
We don't fight over it. I mean, I don't have enough free time to really play a lot of video games, so I'm probably not going to get one.
We don't fight over ours either because Beach doesn't play it.
Oh, it's your Switch.
Fighting implies that there's some question about who gets to play it. All right, so that's most of the stories we actually talked about, or we actually did stories on. Other stories that we didn't talk about.
Hey, there's a StarCraft mod that's coming out that'll make the game look like a cartoon, and not just any cartoon. A series of successful StarCraft cartoons on YouTube
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's not just a generic Saturday morning cartoon. There's a guy on YouTube who does a channel where he basically does like cartoons about StarCraft, like sort of like Red versus Blue, but with original animation. And they hired him to like make this mod.
Yeah, it's great. It looks like a. It looks like just like some little thing that somebody, like a cartoon or something that somebody did, and it's like no, this actually is StarCraft. Like you can actually play this. It's very silly. Yeah. There's a Fallout 76, of course, famously doesn't have any NPCs in it, right? That's part
They're
of its
adding
whole
them
shtick.
as part of like the expanded story, though, aren't they?
I don't think so.
I thought there was actually NPCs now in some of the expansions that are out or that are coming out.
I don't know. As far as I know, that was like a sort of philosophical thing, not like a
They are adding
technology
them.
thing.
Yes, they are.
Oh, they are?
Yes,
Oh,
they do. They're being added in a future expansion.
Well, anyway, there's a guy who wanted to sort of a social experiment, I guess. He has been going through in Fallout and basically being like a beggar. Like he dresses his character in really crappy clothes and then just like sits by the side of the road, is like, hey, can you give me stuff? And people have been like surprisingly accommodating for him. Mostly just be like, come on, man, here's some wood, build yourself a house. I can't stand to see you out here like this. Or whatever. So apparently, at least on his particular area of the Fallout system, seems to be fine.
Excellent. Let's see, what else? Ubisoft says they're going to ban players who crashed Rainbow Siege 6 matches by spamming chat symbols.
There's been like a bunch of weird Rainbow Six Siege like sort of cheat glitching. Because there was one a while ago that was like you build certain things and then people's view gets all messed up.
Yeah. They were basically forcing people to like go on like the video game equivalent of a terrible acid trip.
Yeah. And so what this is basically if in the how it renders the group chat. If you start spamming a bunch of like special characters like asterisks and dollar signs and stuff, it massively lags out all the people watching the chat, but not the person who's actually spamming, but everybody else who has the chat up. It starts, they start either like dropping huge amounts of frames or actually like crashing their game. They've fixed it now, and they've said that they're actually going to go back and ban people who were abusing this. Which nice thing about the fact that it's in chat is that obviously they have like a transcript of who, like it's not hard to figure out who has been doing it. Yeah, because they had to write stuff in chat. So
let's see. There's a new Turok game. There's a new Turok game coming out, and it's really cute.
Yes, it's like Turok and the adorable fighting of dinosaurs.
It's like a sort of an isometric puzzler of you're trying to get out. Sort of like reminds me of like the Lara Croft Go and Hitman Go, that kind of thing. It looks really cute.
Yeah, just the idea of taking Turok and making it this like super adorable cartoony game. It's such an odd idea for like a pitch, but I like it.
All right.
We got, just to give it a bit more context, there's Cuphead the game becoming Cuphead the animated Netflix series, it's being adapted, so that's cool, but it's not going to have like the amazing like 1930s animation style because it's very expensive.
That was really hard to do back then. And now they figured out like all sorts of automated or systems to like do tweening between frames and stuff. So apparently it's going to look more like the sort of modern day Looney Tunes, the sort of with kind of a thick outline and stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, Izande just sort of encapsulate my read on the situation was if it doesn't have the art style, what is the point?
Yeah.
Because it's not like we knew Cuphead for the story. I mean, I can go ask Adam. Adam's like beat Cuphead on like super hard mode or something like that. So I feel like he's like the world's preeminent cup expert. But like I like the story was just get your soul back from the devil.
Yeah.
Which I feel like was a neat bow or a neat package that was wrapped up with a bow in the game, and I don't know where else they take that.
Maybe they'll Tom and Jerry it. Like maybe it'll just be a thing of.
Did somebody say Cuphead?
Yeah, Adam, come in here.
Yeah.
So Adam, they're adapting Cuphead as a Netflix cartoon.
Yes. Okay.
But it's not going to have it's going to have like a more Looney Tunes art style and not the Cuphead art style from the game. See that?
See it, bang right there.
Yeah.
So now on top of that,
What's good talk, everybody?
What is like? Is there bones of a story in Cuphead at all?
There is. They made a deal with the devil.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that enough to get like a series of
I think so.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's a story there. I mean, there's lots of room to work with. They're pretty vague on it, right?
Okay.
They make a deal with the devil, and the devil's like, you gotta collect all these contracts, basically.
Oh, okay. So
and then you got to beat up the devil.
Yeah.
They'll probably just do a whole thing where they're just going around like collecting on contracts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
And never actually beat up the devil.
There's probably a lot of lore to fill in.
I hope so. I want like deep, weird lore too.
Yeah.
When you have so much room to work with, I like it when they get like extra weird with it, right?
Yeah.
Like,
it was already kind of a weird game, right?
Yeah. What if we find out one of the Cuphead's a flat earther? You know what I mean? Like, just really, like, get us going.
It's like, whoa, where the hell did that come from? Holy shit!
That's what I want. I want something like that.
It's like the world's just all two-dimensional, man.
Yeah. You ever been to space? Like, you know what I mean? We've never been out there. I'm assuming Cupheads haven't landed on the moon yet.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't there a level that happens in space?
No.
No?
Well, they have airplanes.
Oh.
But airplanes can't go into space. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, you die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cupheads clearly breathe oxygen.
Yeah.
Do Cupheads breathe oxygen? Are there any underwater levels?
No.
Well,
So
that
they
answers
must.
that question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's water. There's levels where you're on water.
Their heads would get full. They would sink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're top heavy. Everybody knows that. If you push a Cuphead in its head, it just tips over and it's like a turtle. So you can't get back up.
Yeah,
So,
they got to keep that head above water.
Yeah.
For buoyancy.
Yeah.
What if they put some saran wrap over their heads so it was like an air chamber?
Yeah.
That's a great idea, actually. Holy shit.
Do Cupheads, like, when Cupheads get together at like a family reunion or something, do they fill each other? Like, do they drink out of other Cupheads?
I think that might be
in a non-sexual way. I'm not making this sexual.
Like, it'd be like if you went to a family reunion, you're drinking out of like the skulls of your ancestors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do that, right?
That's super fucked up. I love
That's
that.
what I want.
Yeah.
I want like stuff like that.
That is not what happens at at a family drinking out of the skulls of your ancestors is not like a standard family reunion thing. I don't think.
Well,
Yeah, that's some Norse shit.
Yeah. I want something like that. I want the TV show to get weird.
Yeah.
I wanted to be descended from Norse people and not the people I am descended from. The only thing that we drink at family reunions is liquor.
This is why we don't let Adam
unlike
write
Norse people.
Yes.
Right.
It's not what you drink, it's
skull.
what you drink it out of. Yeah.
A kind of cup.
Anyway,
A mug.
we're just about time for LRMTG.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
It was good talking Cuphead.
Thank you, Adam.
No worries.
Adam Savidan, everybody. He smells great.
Oh, thanks.
let's welcome the people who
What his
subscribed
opinions were on Sailor Moon.
during this stream.
He was here. We could have done the joke.
Finishes up. Sorry.
The people who started, let's thank the people who subscribed during this stream.
Yeah. Ooh, as opposed to last week. Ooh, we thanked them in another stream.
No, I don't think he's going to stand for that.
Starting with
Larsa for 33 months. Thank you for subbing.
Mirna's for 67 mugs. Jeez.
You want this one?
Phosphatide for 22 months. Thank you very much.
Hey.
Space Potato 01. I don't care who does them. For 4 whole years, Space Potato 01 or Potato or Tomato.
Oh, Lord Crusher for 51 months. Woo!
Arconic Energy for 34 months.
Mayday 24 for 11 months. Welcome back.
Go Dort. 28 months.
It's a great name.
Plaid of Honor for 24 months. Those 2 years. Thank you very much.
JS1813 for 29 months. Welcome back.
Oh boy, it's your friend Budget DM. 41 months.
Mars is dead for 22 months. In fact, I would say probably longer than that. Mars has been dead for.
We don't know. There could be some bacterias over there.
Gilder 13 for 2 months. Thanks for coming back.
Oh boy. Hey, Smafty Flafferman gifted the following subs to the Mad Egyptian, the Luminarch, Nameless Sword, Prince Phantom, and Kraygor 001. Thank you very much.
Is there a Dr. Smafty Flafferman?
The Maricat has gifted subs to Epic Deuce, Ray Legionnaire, Kuligan, Schruler, Mr. Crag, Butternades, Gelato Squid. It's a solid, isn't it? I think Squid Ink Gelato is like an actual thing.
I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Holier, Bolshavas Ninvizja, Dodo Swede.
Yay!
Yay!
Onyx Seeker for their full year. Welcome back.
And it's 50 McNasty, who's been here for 34 nasty months.
So nasty.
Edgar J for the 2 years.
Rain Murphy for 8 months. Welcome back.
Hello, it's Chronic Death,
Oh.
who is neither nasty nor a mister. 5 months.
I think it's you, Paul.
Garfy 400 for 39 months.
Oh, I don't know how to pronounce your name.
Quelling?
If it's Gaelic, it could be very
Gaelic?
different. They get for a Gaelic what I get for having a Gaelic username. How do we pronounce your name?
I like that in order to read that out from the chat, you have to also pronounce their username.
Yeah, exactly.
But
That's what I
still,
get
but
for using a garlic
apparently
username.
it's just Cooley.
Thank you to Cassie13 for those 200 bits. To
Woo.
bits, to bits, to bits.
Yeah, and if you use Bleed Purple, you get bonus bits.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn. All right. Yeah,
You get
do that if you
10%
like.
bonus bits.
No, Cooley, don't worry about it. We're going to try our best to remember.
Yeah.
We
I-
won't,
That's
but
why
we'll try our best.
I mean, I asked for legitimate reasons.
yeah.
I don't make any promises because I'm barely able to function today. But
Yeah, don't feel bad about having a hard to pronounce username. That's fine, as long as you are okay with us not pronouncing it correctly. Just, that's how it goes. We'll pronounce it as well as we can, and if you're okay with that, then we're all fine.
yeah, and realistically, it's not your fault. It's not our fault. It's a hegemony of the English language.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of this is not English, is part of the
But
problem.
like, we don't understand anything that's not English because English is such a dominant language. Whereas people who speak other languages are forced to learn their language and our language. Right? We're just lazy.
Yes, the concept, just the concept of language. Everybody just should be everything phonetic. Anyway, thanks for watching. We're going to go up briefly offline and then back to LRRMTG. So, see you later.